Hey ladies and gentlemen, Brian Boyle here, and welcome to episode 77 of The Mesh Tongue. It's Saturday, so hopefully you are having an awesome day. It's supposed to be like 80 degrees here in Salt Lake today, so we are just loving this. Although it's supposed to exactly go back to winter by the end of this week. That's typical in Utah, so we just come to expect what we get, and that is what it is. But a couple weeks out for you guys that are running Boston, so figure your last long run's gonna be this week or next, and then kind of take it down a notch and start into the taper. Again, typically what you want to do is keep the intensity high, bring the mileage down, and hey, you guys already know this stuff, but if you don't, okay, let me know. Leave those questions and comments. Brian, Brian at company5k. That's the number 5k.com, just like the race distance, and I'll certainly help you with whatever I can help you with. But so today I want to talk to you about a couple of different things. There's a lot of questions. People say, oh, I'm not a heel striker. I am a heel striker, and they want to know how to do. How can they tell them? So a real quick and simple thing is if you've got an iPhone 6s or above, so 6s or the 7, you now have the option to film in slow motion, which is 240 frames. It will come out in 720, okay, instead of 1080, but it's at you can film yourself for a minute. What you would do is you would take your camera or your phone, your camera. If you have another camera, you can use this as well. And what you'll do is you record yourself sideways on a treadmill, so from the side on the treadmill, and then you record yourself, and then you can analyze it real quick and simple. You can tell where you're landing, where you're landing on the back of the heel, midfoot, on the toes. Very simple stuff. I could go into a whole lot more, and we spend hours and hours and months and years learning this stuff. But for a quick, are you running on your heels versus midfoot versus toes? Take your iPhone, and set it up from the side on a treadmill, okay, and record yourself on slow motion. Once you get that back, you play it back, you'll be able to see where you're at. Another thing you can use, a lot of people hear Dartfish, and they hear there's like Sports Motion, there's some other software. These things can be like hundreds to thousands of dollars. There's not necessary. If you're really interested in this stuff, there's a software called Kinovia, okay? Kinovia is an open source software, Kinovea. Okay, you can download it. It's open source. You can play multiple. So you can have one screen on here. If you want to do it before and after, you can take it to 2 screens. Okay, and you can have side by side and playing back. So this is something that we use in clinic all the time. All right, in comparison, Kinovia is open source. It's free. So if you would take your same same iPhone or your camera, download the video into the software, and then there's all sorts of tutorials on here as well. So if you really are interested in that, you can certainly find some good, high quality, inexpensive tools out there. Probably stuff you already have. I'll leave it at that. We could get into a whole lot more. If you have questions, by all means, send them to me. If you want to send me some video of you and you want me to analyze, by all means, you can do that. Just don't blow up my inbox with like massive files. So normally 10 to 15 second files is all you need from the side there. You don't need much more because we can just put it on repeat and take a look. So don't send me like this 7-minute file, or 10-minute file of you running. But 10-15 second clip. If you've got a question, I'll be certainly happy to analyze. So, and the last thing I want to talk to you about today is what would be called instrument-assisted soft tissue mobilization. Some people know this as the Graston technique. Some people may have had IASTM. They're different styles, they're different tools. If you're using anything besides those trademark names, we just call it instrument-assisted soft tissue mobilization. If you go on YouTube and look at some other channels, you'll see some people using butter knives. A patient told me that there's some dude using like the side of a wrench or something. I'm like, hey, it is what it is. I always tell people if it works for you and it feels good, keep doing it. But I don't recommend these sorts of things. So this is from the side. Okay, you can see this has got a beautiful beveled edge. This was custom made. There's a guy in town here that was a former patient. He owns a custom motorcycle manufacturing company. I mean, so he does real high-end custom bikes, and he said, oh, I could do this stuff, and realized that 5 hours for each one of these, it was no wonder that other people are charging like $2,500. But the reason why we use a tool, okay, and this is one of those things I would recommend, if you need something, I recommend going in and seeing somebody. I give you these tips and these tools in order to try and help you at home, but sometimes you just need something. I mean, I would be out of a job if people didn't need me. I try to put myself out of a job, so I try and do as much as I possibly can in sessions, okay, but beyond that, I try and give you the tools for at home. That way you can do these things. So how we would use something like this, all right, is taking the straight edge and on a 30-degree angle, and I'll show you from my forearm just so I'm not moving the camera back and forth. Okay, so on this 30-degree angle, all right, we're just going into the tissue, all right, and we're just going to make some quick swipes, all right, just nice and easy, okay, and then we're going to go back the other way. Some quick swipes. Normally you would want to put on some lotion or something, but that's really the gist of it. Cocoa butter works really well because it's buttery and it's real thick and creamy. But the key with all of this is that you have somebody that's trained in using the tools, that you don't just get some hack. The pressure doesn't need to be super deep, okay? So you don't need to have this ridiculous amount of pressure where you're getting bruising. If you've got too much pressure on this and you create bruising, the downside is that it automatically takes away the effect and the benefit. All right. The reason why the tool works is because it's got a straight edge. The straight edge allows the tissue to come through. It doesn't allow it to displace. So if I've got my thumb, if I've got my other soft tissue, my elbow, the soft tissue around here, if I'm using that for soft tissue release, it's going to displace. Okay. Now, if we have a straight edge, it's like taking a rolling pin and rolling out your dough. It doesn't have an opportunity to displace. All right, so the key is that we go just deep enough to break up any sort of fibrosis, and that's what you're looking for. So you're looking for any sort of, it feels almost like a rumble strip or from the side of the road, or something that's kind of crunchy. That's what you're looking for. So whether it's around the kneecap, whether it's around the ankle into the plantar fascia, this stuff works fantastic around the bony prominences, so around the ankles, the bottom of the feet, the sides of the knees, the inside of the knee. If you're having any issues and it feels like it's restricted, I encourage you to go find somebody that is trained in instrument-assisted soft tissue mobilization. Like I said, there's a couple different techniques. One is the Graston. That's got its own trademarked thing, that different tools. IASTM is another thing. There's no real difference in the sense of why they're doing it. It's just different tools. Now they may tell you that there's a difference. In the reality of it is, I've looked into both. I've used both. The tools are a little bit different. The same philosophy is there. You're breaking up the tissue underneath. You're eliciting a response, getting some blood flowing, creating a healing response. So the key is not to get bruised, though. That's the thing. So if you see somebody and they say, "Oh no, you got to be bruised," I would run for the hills. Okay, if that happens by accident, okay, because if somebody's working with you the first time and they don't know how you're going to respond, I always tend to go on the lighter side, especially to see what the response is, okay? You can't take anything back, so if you go too hard and too heavy the first time, okay, you can't take it back. You can always go heavier the second time. So I would highly avoid people that want to bruise you, and you can find all sorts of instrument-assisted soft tissue mobilization fails online. These people are just bruised from head to toe. It looks literally like somebody beat them up with a baseball bat. I think you go at that point, why? What's the point? You've already now created this hematoma underneath. You've got this black and blue. You've burst the capillaries. All we wanted to do was bring a response, get the blood flowing in there. Now you've created a new event. Not for me. Okay, so afterwards, after you do the instrument-assisted soft tissue mobilization, easy word for me to say, drink plenty of fluids. So this is when you want to flush that out. So you're going to go home and drink plenty of clear fluids, and see how things feel. So as I said, you can do this stuff at home. There's lots of videos on there. I don't recommend it. I would recommend going to somebody the first time, have them do it for you. For one, it's a whole lot easier, all right, rather than you trying to fumble with it at the house. I just really wanted to more or less point this out to you, okay, that these things are available, you know, and that this is something that we use in the clinic all the time, especially for restrictions. So if you feel really tight, like the IT band is tight, feel like the kneecap is not moving, you know, this can definitely be of benefit. So, hopefully that helps. This is episode 77 of The Mesh Tongue. It's now Saturday. I will be back again Sunday, tomorrow, for episode 78. Again, if you want to send me a short video clip, 15 seconds or so, you know, of you running, you want me to analyze, take a look, I'll be happy to do that. Please don't blow my, you know, annihilate my inbox with this massive file. I'll probably just delete it and you know, and send you an email and say, hey, you know, can you send me a smaller file, please? So I'll be happy to do that though for you. Send it to Brian@company5k.com. And hey, I always say, don't go hurting yourself to come back. But please share this with your friends, family, training partners. I'll see you again tomorrow. All right, take care.